The Golden Shield of Pythian Knighthood by Charles J. Kreller, 1928. Pilgrimage 1. Modern Chivalry. In this day of 20th century activity, chivalry appeals to the heart of man the same as it did during the reign of feudalism. Time and conditions only have changed. No more does the doughty knight ride about the country, clothed in glittering armor, with his features masked beneath a metal helmet with visor down. Feudal reign has given way to a more advanced civilization, and those robber barons who infested the highways and byways of the British Isles and Europe during the Middle Ages are remembered only in history. Today we have masters of business who, instead of preying upon the individual, seek the commerce of nations. The courageous knight of the 20th century rides in aeroplanes, dares the ever-moving clouds, scorns the highways of the earth. No nobler institution was ever conceived than that of chivalry. It had for its objects most commendable virtues: the protection of the weak, the relieving of distress, disinterested courtesy, bravery, magnanimity, and honor. Knighthood embraced the highest type of manhood, the flower of civilization, the defender of religion. To the modern valiant knight, these sentiments are just as sacred today as they were centuries ago, when mankind owed allegiance to potentates and kings, and not to an ever-changing and progressive society. Out of the ancient order of chivalry, there have arisen many organizations, all of whom have, more or less, adopted certain rites, ceremonies, customs, and creeds in vogue when knighthood was in flower. Among the modern fraternities is the Order Knights of Pythias, conceived by one of the greatest fraternalists the world has ever known. The order, born amid the tumult of war, when brother was against brother, when friendship was buried beneath monuments of greed and hate, when charity was almost forgotten and benevolence ostracized, has grown until now it has spread over land and sea. The sentiments of ancient chivalry woven in American ideals have been responsible for the successful perpetuation of the Knights of Pythias. The systems of concentrated friendship, charity, and benevolence are so full of that which enriches, ennobles, and beautifies life that man's better nature is naturally drawn towards Pythianism. The Order Knights of Pythias has borrowed from the lexicon of heaven and the nobility of the earth the words secrecy and chivalry, and has combined them into a modern knighthood which meets the needs of mankind. It is generally known that the mystic rites of the Knights of Pythias are well adapted to the needs and consolation of the human family. It is by study and contemplation of the ritual and principles that a Pythian's mental activities and enjoyments are brightened, broadened, and beautified. The earnest desires of Pythian knights are for the nobler attributes of life, which give peace and contentment so dear to mortals. Everywhere throughout the supreme domain, as it is called, the Knights of Pythias are waging modern warfare against social evils. The members, through subordinate lodges, are relieving distress. They are caring for and protecting the orphans and the widows of deceased knights. They are teaching the youths of communities truth, honor, loyalty, and bravery, all of which tend for better citizenship. They are instilling into the minds of the people patriotism. They are placing upon the altar of truth the trinity of friendship, charity, and benevolence. The hands of Pythian knights are ever open to relieve their brothers in adversity. This is modern chivalry, as taught in Pythian castles, and exemplified by the members of the Knights of Pythias.
Valiant knights of yore, we read of knightly deeds of yore with swelling hearts and kindling eyes, through glorious pathways red with gore, ere beauty's hand bestowed the prize. And every nerve thrills in accord with valiant knights who bore the cross so proudly 'gainst the Paynim hordes, and counted life as little loss.